Jaro oya da ki jahoya da kai chusha oya. As we arrive through heart center, daro o, deepening through the vocal transitions. Oh my, good. This feels like a stretching or a strengthening through the cellular heart. The energetics through the heart energy. The structure through the heart energy. Allowing the heart energetics to deepen through the cellular membranes. So feeling this heart energy more strongly in through the body. Which feels like a heat in the chest perhaps, or this sensation of burning, sort of a low grade discomfort in the top of the chest and into the throat, into the glands here. Vocal transitions through these elder tones. So typically we would use the word ancient, and yet ancient here seems to imply something that is no longer viable. So the elder tones are very old energies, original energies, yet they have been dormant. And almost as if they have been waiting for the body to be able to re-invoke or to be strong enough. It's almost as if the electric currents in the body needed to be strengthened in order to tolerate the strength of energy, to increase the body's capacity to hold this energy. Because we see that in the past, this is coming through the feminine range, the strength of this energy would have thrown the field, the body, the human, into a nervous, it's coming through as a nervous alert system, so probably triggering the nervous system. And then with that, we loop back into the programming. So this is, it's actually showing me almost a type of lockdown or lockout from the electric current, but it's also coming through as electric currency in the body stream. The energy streams through the body. It had been locked out in a sense that we couldn't come in here to make any sorts of adjustments. Sort of, the door was shut and this was put away, put behind us, put out of sight, out of awareness, beneath our conscious ability to perceive this. It was imperceptible. So coming into the base of the heart here, and we can feel the level of, it's a combination of fear and grief. It's an energy almost that we turn away from because it feels so awful. And it gives me this impression of being in the basement. I don't want to go in the basement. That sort of heavy, moist, damp, a thick energy. What's the point of going down into it? It just feels bad until you leave. There's really no sort of changing that atmosphere, that energy. So this is what we're looking at here. We could not tolerate this before, and yet we need to come into this energy to start to dissolve it. It's coming through the base of the heart, the feminine base range, Jarokoya. So the left side of the heart here, Choro Otakai. And let's come into the base of the spine, where the spine starts to react to this feeling of instability, of having this very wobbly sense of self. So the sense of self gets thrown off or misdirected. The strength comes into question. The strength of the being comes into question, affecting through the hips here. Okay, so this is a very feminine sort of, I think this has to do with the womb clearings too, but it's more than just the womb clearing. It's the way that the manipulation within the womb has actually affected the structural integrity of the human body, or the weakness within the hips. This core stability that has been rocked. We could even say where your stability has been rocked to its core. Okay. Well, all right, good. So we can feel the settling then through the heart space. This is a really deep and dense subconscious realm here, but a great sense of burden hanging out here. As we start to bring in the light here, there is a great relief and this sense of lifting off this weight. So coming into a space of weightlessness. And that this is foreign, Jakoya, to the human body, Jara I, so coming in to rearrange around the base of the spine. Also, all of this structure through the hips, the damage through the womb, the pelvic bowl, the hips here, the strength, the capacity for strength that was affected. And now this flows down the field, so all the way down the legs into the feet. The immense pain that the feminine energies have endured downstream from the womb, the manipulation. So a lot of clearing out of the base of the heart here, both sides of the field, all ranges of the field here. The back side, this energy of Toro o Koya. It's a protective tone. It's some sort of group, but it looks like a very masculine female energy, or a very sort of masculine feminine energy, or the masculine strength of the feminine potency. Wow, feeling that washing through the base of the heart. These are union tones here. There's a massive clearing coming in here. Such a beautiful expression of love, softening into what we might previously have sensed as being in a space of feeling captured, where we reorient to being held, being caught as we are falling, through the angelic ranges, these wings, the races of wings, erases of wings, fallen. Okay, there's something here about, I know there's this idea of the fallen angels or the fallen races, yet this looks like there was a subconscious insertion of a storyline, ultimately leading to this sensation that being held, being supported, is being trapped, being caught, being imprisoned, and also an energy of having done something wrong. So a lot of shame, a lot of almost like negative interrogation. So an imprint through the subconscious field ranges that we are slowly releasing, because it's intense, yes, but more importantly, it's so large, it's all encompassing. It has affected every part of the human experience. And also this idea of negative temptation. So this was coming up very strongly yesterday. Almost the confusion that we have where we desire to move towards something that feels very good to us, and yet immediately there's a switch or a flip that this is tempting, this is bad, this is negative, this is alluring, and therefore I'm going to fall into some sort of trap. I'm going to be caught in this. Yes, there is also an element, it's farther down the masculine range, of this sort of sexual deprivation of some sort, but that seems to be the catch basin, or the draining of the energy. Ultimately, that's the goal, is to drain the energy, and so it's done through this sort of sexual orientation or alignment to this idea of negative temptation, that somehow this is wrong, you're wrong. It invokes a lot of shame and guilt, and yet that is just ultimately to siphon your energy into a draining effect. However, the everyday experience in the subconscious of this tone is one of not feeling safe to be held, not feeling safe to allow someone to catch you when you have fallen. Okay, coming into the womb space now. And this sort of animalistic effect of this, where we eat our own young. So we could relate this ultimately to these narcissistic tendencies to harm, terrorize, and abuse those things, those people around us that remind us of what we have lost or don't have, or were never given ourselves. There is this energy of chewing or chomping on something. Through the feminine range here. These are horrible energies that have been living within us. We have been living within these imprints, or living within the imprint of this viciousness, and the harmful negative effect of this vicious imprint. And yet where the human has ultimately been programmed to feel themselves as being the cause of this, as being that shame and that guilt, that this is who I am, and in order to shake this out of me or get rid of this feeling, the only way to do it is to project it onto something else. It's not a conscious projection, it's the effect of this sort of viral imprint. It's the only way to shake off that feeling through the human, is to spin it out of one's own field. And the only way to really do that is through this vulgarity, right? This projecting anger and rage and resentment and criticism and all these really awful tools to eject the experiencing of this vicious feeling out of our own conscious engagement with it. So almost spitting it out of ourselves. And yet seeing the entire architecture of this is incredibly fascinating. It's not just this one part and piece of how the mother avenges her own pain, or how we are unable to receive support, or how we tend to make the very thing that is trying to connect with us the evil villain. It is all a part of this architecture here. So let's open through the crown, opening the entire range of the field here to receive the light of truth. To embody this truth, if you so choose. This is available to open to, and we also see and we understand where varieties of humans have learned to work very well with these energies in such a way that they have almost melded into their field, almost become an intricate part of who they are, part of their identity, part of their personality, where to allow the reframing through the consciousness in order to release this energy would be even more painful than to be relieved of this imprint and this programming. So we just want to come into the mind sets here, where these ideas are pinned into the field through the mind, that it's too painful to change, or that changing is too hard through the programming because it's repetitive mindset. It's programmed into the cellular body through the nervous system. So we actually see that that has been the truth and the current level of work that we have been doing for quite some time. And yet beyond that, the recalibration or resuscitation of the true ability of the nervous system within the organic field of the human body, that there is a way beyond that mental mindset work. So we're coming into the center of the brain, these timestamps through the mindset, refractions, and feeling the nausea that causes. Okay, so we're opening through these locked keys and cabinets here, the shame that comes in through the cross, the shame that is embedded through the cross, that is through the feminine brainstem and the feminine, it's below the rib cage. It almost feels like the diaphragm. There's a diaphragmatic resultant compression through the field with this. We're utilizing the union energies through the masculine range. Now, in order to have been able to come into these energies, there is an incredible amount of work that has been done. I almost want to say off kilter. It's not off planet, it's almost like another dimension within this planet. There is other work that has been being done out of sight, in these very, it's not a petrified realm, it's a, well, in some ways it is, because it's these energies within the organic material that has been petrified, which this petrification occurs. We'll use this as an example through the lava from the volcanoes, how that petrifies wood. But the organic symptoms, or the organic expression, that organic code is still there. So it's similar to this in a sense that there is it's showing to me almost like a bubble. It's been sequestered. There are beings who have been very sequestered in their own energies or in working with other beings, probably even unknown to themselves for the most part, that they have been working to, it's not resurrect, it's almost to excavate certain codes out of this lockdown or this cabinetry. Again, it looks like a metal cabinet in the basement that has a key, and it was locked and it was shut away, and nobody really wanted to go down there to even look for it because the energy surrounding it was so nasty. And yet in this moment, we are wanting to say there's a very, very deep honoring to the masculine ranges that have been hard at work, out of sight, beneath conscious awareness, but have been battling in their sleep, that have been battling in the back of their mind. Okay, so we're coming, and this feels even to be the male energies themselves. Yes, okay. I feel this right through the core. So looking at the masculine range within the feminine range within the masculine, there's a convergence here of some sort. So coming into the right side of the heart, this channel where these energies that have been in stasis are being reawakened. And truly it feels that the majority of this work has been done by the male embodiments, very much beneath maybe even the subconscious level, buried so deeply it's occurring within sleep, within this stasis energy. So really excavating through, again, what looks like very petrified, solidified, hardened molecular ranges. So breathing here, deep into the heart, deep into the belly of the beast. Releasing the beast. Where it has been implied to have been imprinted within this solidification, this hardening, this fossilization in the earth tone range. And yet this energy of beast, okay, so we know that it has several meanings here on earth. One of them, of course, is sort of this satanic tone, but that's not what we're seeing here. We're seeing almost what feels like a scaling tone. So a lot of people would probably refer to this as dragon, but dragon is just, it's not even what it is. It's scalar or scaling. It's the inherent architecture, although it does have to do with imprinting. So energies that can be imprinted that then grow. Now, of course, we could use this for good, or we can use this for evil. And then the beast tone, of course, is what would be this very negative enhancement, to cause control, to invoke control, to acquire control. Whereas the organic sort of scaling of energy, feeling this in the womb space through the right side of the field, is what I do believe most people probably refer to as dragon. And yet it has very little, if anything at all, to do with dragon as an animal. I think it's just a way that the human mind can understand it, or it has seen this sort of scale type tone, and it has melded that to the idea of dragon. Jara ata koya chisha I chanakai to koya chisha I chokoya dakai. So we're going to bring the light in here to start to strip these merged identities, these misprints or misinformation or misinterpreting the kosha I chakosha I, misimprinting dara I da o o o o o. Also through your experience of being within the womb, the kasha I chaya chokoya, as your human body was growing and receiving and learning and tuning in to the earth, choro otakai, releasing through the vision, through your macular ranges, releasing the male tokoya chashe energies from your field, these detrimental impediments, and the detrimental impediments through the male fields, which then caused male energies to hook into female energies in this way. So again, the entire experience of this architecture, broadening our understanding, offering gratitude for the information brought forth here. Allowing the self to rise to one's own wisdom. And wisdom is not about holding specific energy within ourselves. Wisdom is about the capacity to stay open to receive new understanding. You don't have to have the answers. You have to be able to stay open to receive answers. And this, it's very interesting, that idea of a wizard comes through, how we have defined what a wizard is. Not at all to do with a magical wizard with a hat. Wise information, being an open channel to be able to receive the energy and to translate that through the body with proper interpretation. So releasing this magi, or this, the way magic and this natural capacity that we have to be open to receive has been inverted, yes, but it has been turned into an abomination. Clearing the hopelessness through the base of the spine, clearing through the back of the neck and through the glands, opening yourself to receive. The three keys, the kokokosha, not the three kings, it's the three keys of oneness. Body, mind, soul, remaining open. As portal. The elemental races, the kosha, it having nothing to do with what we might call elemental energies in terms of rock and soil and fairies and this kind of idea. Elemental as in fundamental or building block. Tatakai cho. Clearing the geometry once and for all your base codes to cease the interruption of your field. Daro o kata koya chashei chatakaya chasheki. And we open through the belly. We hold space for you to receive. We understand your fears and your terror and your apprehension. Sending out this frequency of love through love. Where we hope you pick up on this softly and gently, knowing that we are here to support your reinception, if you so choose. Holding so much love for you through your reorientation as you re-find yourself here. We offer you our hearts and our homes for you to dwell within. As you open through the basis, through your field, may you feel supported. May you feel loved. All the days of your life. Breathing us in through the left side of the field, cleansing through the reinterpretation into this bowl, into your anatomy, and anchoring in sacred response. As we call this forth through you and for you, as it is made so.